running that same consistent line down to the bottom of the racetrack. The leaders work in turn 4.
Before laps to go as they round off the corner, and Gant comes off the corner, his windshield full of the rear end of Elliott's Coors Melling Thunderbird.
And as they work into the turn, this time without any race traffic as a factor, Gant trying to chase it down. Let's call it 2.5 to 3 car lengths still, and they'll stay that way on the backstretch.
Elliott a little bit more conservative now. When he comes out of turn number 2, he doesn't put that Ford closer to the as close to the wall as he had during the race. Again, with the 4-car length lead, he works in turn 4.
Elliott has really driven a smart race. He has not allowed himself to get pinned up in traffic in these final laps here this afternoon, and it looks like traffic will not be a factor for him as the racetrack directly ahead of Eli Gold is pretty well clear.
Actually, with the leaders coming off turn 2, the nearest traffic is Buddy Baker midway down the backstretch, and he's not going to be a factor.
Harry Gant closes in the gap 2 car lengths as they work into turn number 3. Gant, the last-ditch effort for the Skull Bandit Chevrolet, closes in on Bill Elliott.
He is getting there. He is 1 car length back with 2 laps to go. Elliott has a car length lead with 2 to go as they head for turn number 1.
Harry's got a running jump going. 3 now, or at least turn number 2, as they work on the low side of the racetrack. Gant nearly gets the car askew, but he's drawn to alongside Elliott on the backstretch.
He looks to the inside. They touch ever so slightly down the backstretch. Gant takes the lead into turn number 3. He slides up high. Elliott comes back to the inside. They're side by side.
Door to door. They'll come off the 4th corner and down to the line. White flag for Harry Gant and Bill Elliott. They race door to door, touch a couple of times. They're still that way in turn 1.
What a remarkable finish here at Rockingham. There will not be any trouble with race traffic. On the low side, it's Elliott. To the outside, it's Gant. They're side by side off turn 2.
Gant almost clangs into the outside concrete retaining wall, but he's got the horsepower on the outside. He beats Elliott to the inside of turn 3. Again, he goes up high in the top spot. Elliott looks down low.
Elliott, bottom of the racetrack. He's got room. Gant comes off the speedway. Elliott is coming. He wins it. Bill Elliott, by about 2 feet, beats Harry Gant as they go down into turn number 1. Checkered flag flies. And Barney coming off the 4th turn, I didn't think he could do it. He was coming, he got a good jump, but he was on the bottom of the racetrack, and supposedly Gant would get a better run off the top.
Those 2 cars have been so close here all afternoon, and these fans came to their feet cheering it on. Some of the best racing we've ever seen at the North Carolina Motor Speedway, and Bill Elliott picks up his 3rd win in 1984 in the Coors Melling Ford, and he's coming on to pit road, and there are thousands of fans on their feet cheering him on, waving their hats to him as he'll be heading for victory lane and talking with Ned Jarrett. One of the most exciting finishes we've seen in 1984.
A lot of collective head shaking going on right now in the grandstand as folks just can't believe what they've seen in the last 2 laps here. Harry Gant coming on, taking the lead, losing the lead, taking it back, and as they came down the front straightaway toward the checkered flag, it's Bill Elliott by 2 feet. Let's join Ned Jarrett in victory lane. We'll go back there in a moment.
Bill Elliott has pulled the Coors Ford in here, Mike Joy. He's now getting his safety paraphernalia unconnected. We'll give him just a moment to get out of the car.
Bill Elliott came to win by a couple of feet, no more than that, at the start-finish line, and he did it the hard way.
I'd give it no more than 2 feet, Barney. When he came off turn number 4, I thought surely that Harry Gant having the outside and the run off the corner, we've said on these broadcasts many times that when you come off the corner on the outside, you're turning a little more RPM. It should give you a little better run down the straightaway, but Elliott just inched up, got right alongside Harry Gant, and if he beat him by 2 feet, that was a lot.
It really was. Ned Jarrett is standing by in victory lane, and Benny Parsons is wandering around the garage area. Hopefully we might get a word with Harry Gant and Terry Labonte, particularly the finish that Gant had, if there's any way to chase him down. Let's go back to victory lane and Ned Jarrett.
Well, Bill Elliott has just crawled out of the Coors Ford, and a very happy man. Bill, is that the way you like to win them?
Well, if it's by an inch or by a mile, it don't matter, Ned, and I don't really know what I could do any different on the last lap. Harry slid up a little bit, and I was able to get back in the accelerator. I didn't know if old car had enough to get up off a corner, but it did do it.
Well, it did do it, and just by a whisker, I'm sure you couldn't tell how much it was.
I knew it wasn't much, but it was enough.
Bill, you ran hard all day. It seemed like there were points that his car was the strongest, then there were other times that your car was.
Well, it was hard to say. It seemed like tires were so critical. The stagger on the tires meant so much. And I knew there after I took off there one time, the car was working good, and we changed tires, and we got the stagger off, and it didn't work so good after that. But, you know, the engine ran good. I got to commend Ernie and all the guys back at the shop for doing a heck of a good job putting this old car together.
I tell you, this is a tough race, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, if it hadn't been for the nice rest we had in between, it'd have been a long day.
Well, it was a long day, and he pulled it off here at the North Carolina Motor Speedway. His 3rd win of the 1984 season.
Thank you much, Ned.
Good run for young Bill Elliott here this afternoon, as we talked about in the middle of the broadcast. That is a team to be reckoned with, not only the remainder of the season, but for 1985 as well. We'll run you down quickly, unofficially, through the top 7 or 8 positions. Elliott the winner, Gant finishing second. Finishing third should be Terry Labonte, fourth position to Darrell Waltrip. Unofficially, the fifth-place car would be the Bobby Allison machine, but Neil Bonnet will be credited with driving that car here most of the afternoon for Bobby. And Morgan Shepherd has a good run and is posted in sixth position unofficially. We'll take you a little further back in the field, hopefully, before we go off the air.
Jeff Bodine is the winner of the Goodies Headache Award, the pole sitter who had won the pole for both races this weekend and won the Comfort Coach 200 NASCAR Late Model Sportsman race here yesterday, will be credited with the Goodies Headache Award. Let's go around the turns and vote the nominations for the Timex timeliest move of the race. We'll start as usual out in turn 2 with Eli Gold.
Well, Mike, I'm kind of torn between two guys, Ron Bouchard and Greg Sachs, but by virtue of the fact that I had a good clear view of what Sachs did and didn't see but certainly heard from the reports what Bouchard did, I'm going to vote for Greg Sachs. When his engine blew back on the 164th lap, he really had to work not to take that car into the wall and not to take out the rest of the field with him, although Buddy Boys did have some problems behind him, but Greg Sachs did a great piece of driving.